It's time for annual reviews. Today, we'll be discussing preparing your assessments, the employee performance review process, writing your employee performance review, preparing for your annual review meeting, and the timeline. As a supervisor, you have access to an employee's review history. As part of your preparation for an employee review, we suggest taking a look at the last year's review along with their job description. Now, if this is the employee's first review with Selden, take some time to reflect back on the interview. What were the expectations when they were hired, and have their goals aligned with the organization's? Here are some quick tips for writing your employee's review. Now, after you've gone and looked at the employee review history, we suggest reading through the job description prior to sitting down to writing your review. You'll also want to tie back your opinions about their performance back to factual evidence, because opinions are just opinions without the facts. You'll want to reference KPIs, scorecards, SOPs, and job description notes. Also, ask yourself, are they meeting the standards that the company has set? You'll want to highlight goals and achievements. Did the employee meet the goals that were set for them? And you'll outline clear expectations and goals for the upcoming year. Have clear feedback on each competency and include an overall comment which will summarize the review. Annual reviews kick off with an employee assessment. So, just as you are writing a self assessment, so are your direct reports. Once your employee has completed their self assessment, you will receive a notification from UKG. Review the employee's self assessment and overall comments, along with their overall rating. You'll then begin your portion of the review, which will be to score each competency and then complete your comments. You'll simply click on the green Start button to begin. But first, let's take a look at the competency ratings so we have a better understanding of these. If you are supervising corporate staff, your competencies will look like this: communication, core values, quality orientation, self management, and teamwork. If you are supervising office personnel, you will be scoring competencies based around accountability, communication, customer focus, quality orientation, and teamwork. Competencies for service staff will revolve around customer focus, problem solving, quality orientation, safety mindedness, and teamwork. With each competency rating, we'll be scoring with a rating of 1 through 4. With a 4 rating, this means that the employee is exceeding expectations. Objectives were achieved in a manner that exceeded the plan, and they often go beyond the basic requirements and take initiative where it adds value. With a 3 rating, this means that they're meeting those expectations. The objective was met. They're producing acceptable work and they're performing at an expected level of proficiency, competence, and timeliness. And they occasionally take initiative to go above and beyond what is required. With a 2 rating, this is where development is going to be required. Their overall performance does not consistently meet established job responsibilities or goals within the job level, and the performance usually meets expectations. However, the need for further development and improvement is clearly recognized. And with a 1 rating, this means unsatisfactory work. Overall performance is repeatedly or consistently below the minimum requirements expected within that job level. Now that we have a full understanding of the competencies and ratings, and we've reviewed the employee's successes and challenges, it's time for you to begin your portion of the review. Remember that you can complete the review all at once or in sections. Once you've completed the review, you'll save the review and you'll contact your employee to set up a time where you can meet one on one to discuss the written review. After your discussion, you'll submit the review to the employee where they will have the opportunity to acknowledge or even add additional comments. Once they've electronically signed the review, UKG will push the review back to you for your acknowledgement. This is the final acknowledgement for the annual review. Now it's time to hold your annual review meeting with your employee. Begin with the employee's work experience. Start by acknowledging the employee's journey with Selden, reference their tenure, projects they've worked on, and any significant milestones that they've had. It's like saying, hey, remember that time that you created that comprehensive marketing plan that allowed us to beat our lease up goals by 42%? great times. Mention their goals. During previous discussions or past reviews, you might have chatted about their career aspirations and job related goals. Highlight those. Set both short term and long term goals, and don't forget to make them smart with your employee. Consider the future. Now let's talk about what lies ahead. Discuss areas where they can grow, develop, and contribute more effectively. Maybe they need to work on their communication skills or their organizational skills. Be specific and make it actionable. Draw to a close with encouragement. Be optimistic and wrap up the review by emphasizing their strengths. Remind them of their impact and how they're an essential part of the team's success. Then, finish with questions and comments. Leave room for dialogue and ask if they have any thoughts, concerns, or ideas. Feedback should always be a two-way street at Selden. Annual reviews are the perfect time to set new goals to keep your employee motivated and engaged in their work. Goal setting provides a path for you and your employee to reach even greater success. Did you know that only 17% of people are goal setting rock stars that are succeeding in work and life? Which means 83% of people have no goals, no plans, and they're just going through the motions. So, if 83% of people don't set goals, yet those that do are 10% more successful in work and life, it's pretty easy to be ahead of the pack. Writing your goals down makes you 42% more likely to achieve them. So, let's set ourselves up for success and set some goals and write them down in our reviews. Remember, when setting goals with your employees, they should always be smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time based. Help your employees with setting goals that align with the department or the community goals. Now that you have completed your annual review meeting with your employee, it's time to log back into UKG and sign and complete your review. You'll complete your signature, which will then push this to the employee. The employee is then able to add any final comments to the review before it's submitted. The employee will then sign and complete, but if an employee refuses to sign, please email hr@selden.com right away. Once the employee has signed and completed the review, it will come back to you for the final acknowledgement. Here is the timeline for the 2024 annual employee reviews. The employee self review period will take place between November 1st through the 15th. All employees should have their self assessments completed and turned into their managers by November 15th. The manager review period will then take place between November 18th through December 13th. As of January 10th, all reviews must be marked as final. This means that you have met with your employee, you have signed off on the review, and your employee has completed their signatures as well. All review meetings should be held and reviews should be fully executed in UKG no later than January 10th. Now that you've completed your 2024 annual employee reviews, what's next? Getting ready for the 2025 reviews, of course. To make this next year even easier, try these tips. Go ahead and set up your one on one meetings for the next quarter or even year. The appointments can always be moved if there's a conflict, but it's a great reminder to have these on the calendar in advance. Keep notes from each employee meeting. I personally like to use OneNote for this, but whatever works for you and allows you to take the notes throughout the year and to keep them organized is ideal. Go back into UKG and review the employee's annual review each quarter. This is a great way for you to help monitor the employee's success. And then make notes on successes and challenges and coachings with facts and figures. It will be difficult to remember these items 6 to 9 months into the year. If you still have questions on the annual employee reviews, feel free to email us at hr@selden.com.